Hi, I'm Merrick D'Amato,
And I'm Classic Gamer.
and welcome back to Let's Play Broken Sword: The Shadow of the Templars on the
Yep.
PC. I have to I specify PC because this is also on PS1, even though I can't imagine anything more nightmarish than trying to play a point-and-click adventure game with a controller.
It's actually surprisingly easy than you think. You speed up the cursor with R1 and you move it around with a D-pad and you click with the X to
Wow,
use things
that's
and
already a lot
examine
more
scramble.
complicated than just half mouse.
Yeah, it is. But you can So but we're doing this on PC using a fantastic program called Scum VM.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is nice. How
Yep.
are we gonna ruin this place?
Well, first of all, there's some seats there on just below you. Examine them because George says some quite hilarious stuff.
These ones I can't. Or do you mean
No,
the
no,
pews?
yeah, the pews,
All
yeah.
right.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies.
George,
Whoa!
you're in a church.
And you're yelling loudly as well. Examine everything first before you talk to the
Obviously.
priest. Yeah.
A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state.
Oh, I thought that was a sink. I don't know why.
What?
Waiting in
I don't know.
prayer
It looked
for
like
the
a sink
judgment
to
day.
me. You have the basin. You have the little the faucet there. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. It's the the
It's
game.
early for me, and I haven't had my coffee yet.
A knight there in the
Let
company of
me
his
let me
fellows.
rectify that right now.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
Oh, that's better. Yes. Okay.
Now you can examine the four on the floor as well.
Oh, four on the floor.
Yep.
A stone knight lay on the church floor. Just think, there's a dead guy under there.
George, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're in Paris right now. There's a dead guy under literally every part of that city. Have you?
I just love that. I just love that. I think that's one of my favourite ones that he says throughout the whole game. Just think, there's a dead guy under there.
The
You buy
second stone
kebab.
knight in a row of four lay on the church floor.
Now, George, if you're going to start talking on rhyme, we're going to have some problems.
I was surprised Philip le Bel had left this place alone.
That is a beautiful window.
It is.
This
A
is
stone knight
kind of
lay
doing
in full
for
stone
me.
armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling.
This is kind of doing for me what Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father, did for me, where I now really want to visit New Orleans. I kind of want to come to Paris just to visit this church because this looks really beautiful.
I'm not sure. I know Montfaucon is a real place, obviously.
In that case, I'll just look for this church and I'll find out if it's real. And everyone should go to Paris at least once. Je parle déjà le français. Je vais
Carrying all that
mieux que
armor around must have been hard
ici,
work.
le putain, là.
You hear what he said? Carrying the armor around.
A
must have been
stone
hard
knight
work.
lay at the end of a row of four. I wondered if this guy had died in combat. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Hey, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, George?
Examine the three windows.
Okay.
An enormous window. In comparison to its neighbor, it looked pretty plain.
The other one might just give you the same thing, but I don't know. Can't remember.
A huge arched window. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Remember the tripod thing way earlier in the game? The tripod,
Yeah.
the Lochmarn one. I know what that's a ripoff of.
What?
It's a Staff of Ra.
What, you mean the one where after we see the Neo Templars in the sewers?
Yes.
That one.
It's like in Raiders when you have he has and the sun shines through it, and it hits a point on the map. It's that, and I love that trope in Adventure Things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors.
That's something I kind of wish they did alongside Curse of Atlantis back in the day. Just all 3 films in one point-and-click adventure game, fully voiced and everything.
I think I do think there are a lot of games that came out in the early times of point and click, like this game, but this game got director's cut, which a lot of people don't really feel is great, which is why the reforged version is going to be the original game, just like remastered and redone in 4K.
And easier to run on modern computers.
And easy to run on modern computers, exactly.
I think that's the main point, the main part of it, really.
Those who don't know, I am a backer on the Kickstarter on that. If you want to back it, well, this video will come out too late, but if you go to Kickstarter, search Broken Sword Reforged Collector's Edition, you've got about a week before they close the Kickstarter.
Yeah, this definitely won't be up, so even if I start uploading the series today, episode 13 will be up after this is closed.
Yeah.
Classics.
So if you do want to go and support the guys at Revolution to make a collector's edition, which has already surpassed its
So viewers,
target.
just for your reference, viewers, he is telling me this. There's nothing you can do at this point.
No, there's nothing you can do.
A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors.
I love stained glass. I fucking love stained glass. The church I went to when I was a child, they had this big rose window right near the top, facing west. So the sun would set and shine right through it.
I bet that looked awesome.
Oh, we because I had some friends and our parents worked at the church, and well, it's easier to bring the kids there than to find babysitters. So we just we were convinced for a while that it was like pointing to something, like in Indiana Jones. We thought there was some kind of treasure hidden, but nah, not really.
I can understand why.
Well, it's a bunch of children like with very little to do who can't be that disruptive because it's a church. So, got to find something to do.
Try examining that statue in the center of the
A huge stained... I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
It's not a biblical story. Those are clearly Knights Templar, George.
Try examining that big statue.
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Is there anything that you can examine more? Oh, it's already giving you the clue.
My cursor was
The
already
scroll
there.
was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
Well, I was worried you're just going to pull down on it, George.
Have you got anything in your inventory that you could use on that scroll?
Yes, but should we talk to this guy first?
Do this bit first. It
All right.
doesn't really matter what order you do it in. I think you clicked on the wrong bit.
I did.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove.
I will point out the cardinal here,
Hey!
the priest, not questioning this. He has no problems with
No.
this.
A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date.
So it changes the
Let me see. MCCCXIV. That's
1394.
1314.
Indeed. So is the lens gone now? We're just leaving it in
the
there?
lens is gone.
There.
But in the director's cut, you actually that thing there is actually changed slightly, where you actually have to move the stained glass window and fit it into place and make a picture. So they
I
do change
wish
a lot of puzzles.
because I want more puzzles in this. I like puzzles.
I don't mind some of the puzzles they give in the director's cut, but the reason why I said we should do this one is because this is the OG one, and I think if you then saw this one and then we do the director's cut, I'm quite curious to see which one you're going to pick as your favorite, because a lot of people don't like the director's cut.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
I've got a red nose.
Oui, so you have.
Have you seen this man before?
No, I have never seen him before.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
No, monsieur. I'm afraid not. Is he a friend?
Not really. More of an acquaintance. I have here a sewer key.
Ah, oui?
I don't know why I'm showing you this.
Neither do I.
Fair enough.
I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense as a souvenir.
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest.
Ask him about the tissue first. Then
There's grease paint on this tissue.
Oui, you are correct.
in fact, ask
What
him
do you
about
make of
something
this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know, it is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
Yes or no?
You can say yes.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Okay, thanks.
Right, now go back and have a look at the Go back and have a look around the church.
I didn't have time to sit around.
Just give him a chance to clean it. You don't have to leave. Just look around the church. You might have to examine things again. You should be able to ask him the rest of the stuff after he's finished.
Waiting in prayer for the judgment day. A knight's tomb. Biblical references, I guess. And just I was the second.
Was that a sneeze? Bless
Yes, thank you. Bit of an allergy.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor. Carrying a stone. I want.
you. Now try
A
back.
priest
He
stood
didn't
by the
look like he's
pews,
finished.
energetically polishing something.
He's polishing your chalice, George. You
That
just
sounds
gave
like
it
an
to him.
innuendo.
Hello again, Father. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Ask him about.
Boy, what a shine you got on this!
Merci. It is all in the wrist action.
Oh, everything?
Yep.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of a man burning at the stake?
The Burning Man?
What, you knew?
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted. Many times, people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lens. You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur, but it is hard not to marvel when the light shines through them. It is a fine example of the artisan's genius.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that.
So I guess he's a verger, not a...
Catch you later.
Since he's
Au revoir,
assisting
monsieur.
the actual father.
Now go and examine that.
He's
tomb
not-
we spoke about.
It's a very British term, but he's not the vicar.
No, he's not the vicar. He's the one in the far corner. Not any of those. On
That corner.
No, yeah, the one on the wall. Yeah, the other. Yeah, that's it. That one. Yep, that's the one.
Is there a place to put
Now
the
that my
chalice?
attention had been drawn to it,
Not on here.
there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family.
The
I'd
Vasconcelos.
found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more. Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
So in the director's cut, when you actually examine that tomb, there's like it's almost like a word search where you have to highlight the references.
Oh, you're making me
So-
really, really, really want to play the director's cut because I love puzzles so much.
I think it just takes what wasn't really a puzzle before and just maybe extends it a little bit. So like, you know, the chess I think puzzle is a little bit different as well from what I saw yesterday when I was gonna have the the thing ready.
The solution?
Answer. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
If you have a Bible, why can't I ask you to borrow a Bible so I can solve this puzzle?
You don't. You will get
Catch
a
you
Bible
later.
but not.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Right. So are we done here?
We're done here. Now you want to go to the Crew Museum. You can go to Nico after you've done that if you want to and talk to her about a few things, but it may not add anything. I can't remember if it does or not.
Because this isn't a game with like multiple endings or anything.
No, it's
Okay.
got one ending. Doesn't Fate of Atlantis have like 3 different pathways you can take?
Yes. One is you can get possessed by the you can be evil. You can not be evil, or you can. The only one I remember is the only like distinctly bad one I remember is getting possessed by the Atlantean ghost. I went for the good ending because it's Indiana Jones. He's the hero. He's, for me, the archetypical hero.
You have to choose that right at the start, don't you?
No.
Oh.
It's based on timing and skill.
Oh, alright.
Pardon me. Oui, monsieur? Does this old cup mean anything to you? Nothing, monsieur. Thanks for your help.
You'd think he'd suspect us of stealing it from here. Given everything else we've done already.
Yep. We will have a list of things that George has done throughout the course of the game.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes, what is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff face. In the cave, I discovered a map bearing a phrase in Latin. In occidenta sita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map. What do you make of this cup, Andre?
It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably.
You sure know your onions.
I mean, in our defense, we didn't steal this.
No. The Countess let us borrow it.
Yes, and we got it polished for her. So this is a legitimately good thing we've done to balance out everything else.
It doesn't balance out half of what we've done.
No, but it's
But at least when we say
to reference there's a quote a Christmas there's a Christmas Carol movie from the 50s, the one with Alistair Sim. To balance out that one, in that one, there's a scene where a character they made up for the movie is being tried for embezzlement from the company, and his company shows a total deficit of a very large amount of money. I think it's like £1,400, 5 shillings and sixpence, and a total asset of £4, 9 shillings and sixpence. And it's like, well, at least the sixpence balance each other out. That's what we've done. We've done the moral equivalent of sixpence.
I don't know the Old English money well enough.
6 pennies. We have done the moral equivalent of 6 pennies.
Yeah. To
6p.
me, that would be 6 pence.
6 pence.
While I was in
That wouldn't
Syria,
even
I
give you
discovered a
penny-
strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
Give me 6 pennies,
That
please.
sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Naval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
That's the exact same one we saw in Spain.
Yes, it is, but it's not red. It's black, isn't it?
I don't know. It might be the angle.
You can examine it after we've spoken to Andre.
No,
It might-
it's not examinable. We tried before.
not?
No,
Okay.
these aren't examinable. I don't think.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of
They
Baphomet?
were.
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
So, like,
Thanks for your help,
casual.
Andre.
You're welcome.
But yeah, the shields are not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Neither were the ones in Contessa de Vancancellos.
Well, you do get a chance to actually, when you go back there, you go into the room where she is, and then when you get up, you don't automatically leave. You can examine things around the room.
Watch out! You'll have that done on top of us!
You know what the best
George-
music? Pardon?
George has already been knocked out by that fish. I don't
Yes.
think he wants a second attempt at that.
It doesn't matter what he wants.
Oh yeah, you're in control.
You know what my favorite museum in video games is?
What?
In Sherlock Holmes versus Arsène Lupin. Because Arsène Lupin, the gentleman thief, he's gonna steal something from the British
You can
Museum.
go back to see Nico if you want to.
That's what I was about to do. You basically get to go on a full virtual tour of the British Museum looking at everything.
Wow.
Not the whole museum, but like the wings most people can, like the Egyptian wing, the Greek wing, that kind of stuff.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine, George.
Why are you happy to see George? Why are you smiling? It's George Stobart.
I saw the story this morning. It won't make me Journalist of the Year, but I can't afford to pay the electric bill. What have you been up to?
Listen, remember the missing Spanish Templar? I found his tomb in the church at Montfaucon.
So he's dead, then?
I wish
no
you wouldn't be
shit.
so sarcastic.
I was only joking, Georges. The Countess will be delighted.
Yeah, maybe this'll help lift the curse.
What now? Are you going to dig up his bones?
There's no need for that. Well, not yet. What I still don't understand is the significance of the chalice.
Yes, there must be something we're missing.
Well, obviously, there's a
Not learn
depression
George's
somewhere.
Bad habit.
There's a circular depression somewhere, and the chalice is going to fit in that, and it's going
Yep.
to unlock a thing. It's obvious. I know adventure movie tropes so well.
Look at the
You're
chalice
right about-
now, Nico.
What happened? It's shiny.
The priest at Montfaucon buffed it up for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah, looks as good as new.
No, you found a use for a priest. That's incredible.
All right.
He is learning George's bad habits.
Yes,
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
we've corrupted her.
That's the face of the statue I saw at the bull's head. That's the lens I found on Klausner's body in the bull's head. There's a woman looking, but the reflection has three.
So as you discover, you remember earlier in the game I said that as you discover what each thing means, you then have different icons you can look
Let's
at.
take another look.
I noticed something.
What?
There's a puzzle clue. There's a clue to a puzzle, a puzzle we did.
Which one?
Look at the flags and the trumpets.
Is that the chest?
Yeah.
It can't be the chest, can it?
I don't think it's like... I think it's less manuscript, but more gameplay clue of what's coming up. See?
Yeah.
Because why? That's not any kind of heraldry.
In Broken Sword 4, you have to examine.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
When I first played that game, when you examine this manuscript, you can only do the. I was at it for quite a while, so you have to examine each bit before then he decides to do another thing to get a clue. And there's actually something in that game called hacking that they've invented, where you have to like do points where you have to like deflect a beam to get into like the place where you need to get to hack into it. It's one of the most infuriating things in that game.
I look forward to breaking it up in half.
Yes.
We're going to Spain?
Not yet. We want to
Okay.
go to the site of the Bahamut first.
Site de Baphomet. Okay, clearly this man has murdered a bottle of mustard. I'm intimidated by this guy.
Try looking at the arch above him. See what George has got to say about that.
Oh, darn. I left my grappling hook at home. No way could I get up there.
Well, if you kept the toilet
George-
chain, maybe.
The archway was topped by a fancy balustrade.
George,
The
you're
gate was
admitting
surrounded
again-
by some pretty fancy ironwork.
You're admitting again that you would commit trespass and potential robbery of something by getting up to a place you do not belong.
He doesn't belong anywhere. He's George Stobart.
I couldn't climb over.
Yeah, you can.
I could climb over that.
The door's open, George. The door is open. Huh.
I just realised the stairs look really weirdly angled, but he's
I
going.
honestly expected the workmen to try to stop us. Like,
The painter didn't seem to regard the painting as too important.
well, it's
Not
been,
as important as a cigarette break, anyway.
in his defense, he's
Right.
painting with yellow. The thing is done. Like, what's he supposed to paint?
I don't think it's that he's paying. I think it's more downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Have a look at his skip before you talk to him.
I'm amazed I figured out what that was.
There was a dumpster full of debris. From the excavation, I guessed.
Dumpster, skip.
I was looking for a bag of crisps.
Hey, you! Get away from my dumpster!
Alright, now try and examine his paint pot next to him.
The painter had a pot of gunmetal gray primer hanging from the barrier.
It's open?
Yeah.
That's dry. That's not usable paint anymore.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh!
It's a very odd gentleman.
So later on, there's a thing that you can do with him and Nico, but if
I
you
couldn't
do it
climb
once
over.
and then obviously a distraction for something. But when you do
Excuse me, could you help me?
fail at least 3 times.
What is it?
I think it's 3
I've
times.
got a few questions.
Let me know when we get there.
I will let you know.
I have a red nose.
Imagine.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yes, it's a communion chalice. I know, you know, I used to be an altar boy.
You?
Yes, me. What's so funny about that?
Nothing. Have you seen this man before?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions, just like you.
Has a guy calling himself Merlin been nosing around?
Was he wearing a t-shirt with "My name is Merlin" on it?
I doubt it.
Then how the hell am I supposed to know his name just by looking at him? Huh?
I've got a sewer key.
I used to work in the sewer.
Oh? What happened?
I had a cigarette break in a pocket of methane. A manhole cover landed on the other side of the Seine and I was sacked.
Yeah, makes sense.
I have some plaster of Paris.
Amazing.
I was pretty sure the shaken shock had shot its bolt in Syria.
Aw.
A greasy tissue. Don't get it too close to my cigarette, monsieur, or there'll be a conflagration.
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoked so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too?
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though. I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
It's put you in the unfortunate position of having to deal with George Stobart.
True.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
One of them came up
None
to
of
me,
them look
started
like
showing me red
archaeologists
noses
to
and
me.
Do
Sawarkis.
you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Downstairs?
Yep, down the stairs. This is one of my favourite parts of the game.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do like this part.
Can't take
So-
a shovel.
That phone on the wall, don't use it yet, but that is where we can have some fun with Nico.
There was a closed door with
harassing
toilet scratched into the cheap veneer. There was a closed door with...
That door is locked, monsieur.
and that a little
The doorway led to an old utility
has
closet
something
that had
to
lost
use
its
for
door. There was
getting a
nothing
puzzle
interesting in
solved.
there.
What?
The little heater on the wall that you see there. So that you use that to solve a puzzle later.
Okay.
We won't do it just yet.
The doorway was full of assorted old tea chests, cardboard boxes, and so on. All empty and all uninteresting.
Can you have a look at that?
A dumpster with some debris in it.
Well, what do you want me to look at?
Just examine that dumpster with beer in it again.
Yep, that was definitely debris. I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks.
I love George's just such yeah, that's definitely debris. Tried talking to the guard.
A guard stood by a door I guessed led to the excavation. He looked pretty pompous. Well, not so much pretty, just pompous. Hi? Excuse me? Oui? I've got a red nose. Oh. I thought better of showing him the chalice. He might be on the conspiracy's payroll, and I didn't want to risk it.
Oui? You have
A sudden urge to sing. Care to join me?
No, no singing in here.
So remember yesterday when Khan, or last video, when Khan said he had been watching George ever since he arrived in Reeb?
Yep.
I don't think I got a chance to say it yesterday, but it came up in my mind. It just reminded me here. He was watching him since he arrived in Marib, right?
Right.
Who are the two people that you couldn't talk to in Marib? The fruit seller and the guy that Pearl was talking to the whole time.
Yeah.
One of them, I am pretty sure, was Khan in disguise.
Not the well. We're pretty sure it's not the fruit seller. He looked distinctly not like Khan.
Well, I mean, the pixie didn't look like Khan, did he? Not really.
We didn't see the pixie.
Maguire did. He said he was using a mask.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
also, the clown didn't look like Khan either. He was wearing face paint.
yes, but those are disguises. Those are like Halloween disguises. This was just a man dressed as another man, probably just with some grease paint to hide his scar.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
no.
So he has.
Do you recognize this name?
Merlin. No.
This gadget is a sewer key.
So it is.
I got this plaster from Ireland.
Not an exciting souvenir.
I was gonna have to get rid of this thing. It was dead. Look, a tissue stained with grease paint.
Ah, just what I've always wanted. If you give me that, you can enter through the door.
Really?
Of course not. What would I want with an old tissue?
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
"Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?"
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him.
Now ask him about the guard symbol first, and then after.
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy, I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. Trying to get into a locked washroom. I had the strongest feeling of déjà vu. I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks.
Alright, if you want to see something amusing,
Here's the keys.
Finally-
Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
and you just give them back to him.
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
I didn't know I'd just give him back the key.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Try going up the steps with the keys. See his response. It's quite amusing.
Hey, monsieur! Don't go with my keys.
Now going to the bathroom. Oh dear. Okay, there's a few
This
things
is
we can
the
do.
dire bathroom.
Yeah, there's a few things that we can do in here. One is actually solving the puzzle. So our objective, obviously, is to get into the excavation site. So we have to do something in order to get in there. So obviously that's getting the keys that he's got. But we can't take the key that he's already got off because he'll notice something. So it is key related.
A
So-
filthy wash basin hung on the wall.
Let's examine everything first.
I didn't want to use that unless I really had to. Oh boy! Dirty soap! How do they do that? The taps were rusty. Oh, boy. The cold tap's washer looked to have failed. It was just dribbling
I
down the
think
sink.
I've solved the puzzle. I'm just going to investigate everything.
Yeah. Examine everything.
The shovel used to feed the furnace was stuck into the pile of coal. Capacious as my pockets were, I didn't figure I could cram a shovel in them.
You crammed a sewer key in them, George. You can definitely cram the shovel in.
The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it. There was a big old boiler used for heating the building. I wasn't that interested in what might go into a restroom's garbage to investigate. A bin stood in the corner. It didn't look like it had been emptied for a while. Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause.
I wonder if you just take the towel and don't take the chain in Syria, if that line there is a little bit different. We might have to try that.
I didn't need to get near to tell the toilet needed cleaning. Being in a charming... That place was at least...
There's one more thing to examine. It's the little vent above George's head. Above the sink.
I could have climbed onto the sink, prized the ventilator cover loose, wedged myself into the tiny hole, smashed the far cover out, and plunged headfirst into the next room. Or I could just go through the door like a sane person. There was a ventilation grill up in the wall.
That's one of my favourite things that he describes something on it. I think it's hilarious.
The cold tap's washer looked to have failed. It was just dribbling down the sink.
Now, what do you think you need to do here?
I made an impression of the big key and the cake of soap. I carefully sprinkled the plaster into the soap mold I'd made of the key.
Well done.
Thank you.
That's not always... I don't think that's obvious to like someone who like isn't good at adventure games like you are and hasn't played the game like me.
Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
So there's something that
A hand dryer was mounted on the wall. If the Club Alamet had used one of these instead of a roller towel, I'd probably still be stuck in Marib.
So obviously you have to swap the key around, but the key is plaster.
That is not a good idea.
You can't use the tissue.
I think I know what to do.
Hi again.
What is it?
Aside from returning the key.
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Gentleman upstairs.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir.
There's a pot of gunmetal paint.
Yep.
So we gotta distract him somehow.
Yeah, so you can't get to the paint until you get him out.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
So this is where you can...
Hi, Nico?
Georges, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
Georges, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
You did? Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh.
Right, try going for the paint first and then calling Nico. So when he comes down, he talks to her. You do distract him. fail at getting doing what you need to do, and then ring her back. I think it's twice more at least, and you get 2 more funny conversations with you and Nico. She gets increasingly more angry.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh!
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
I made this key out of plaster.
How thrilling! How clever! How pointless.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Can I trigger it now?
Yep, try it now. Yeah. It's a shame. I don't think you actually can leave this area that you're in, because I would go back and show, like, the guy at the police station and stuff like that. But I don't think you can leave this area, which is a shame.
Coulard!
Hi, Nico. It's me. I'm at the excavation site.
Goodbye, George.
No, wait a minute. I need your help.
What kind of help? I told you I'm busy.
This will only take a few minutes, I promise.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Stay on the line. I'll go and get him. Hi, it's me again.
What now?
You've got a phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? You must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers and his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me. Stand back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk.
Right, now go back down when he goes down, and then ring Nico again, and then repeat that. I think it's at least twice you have to do it. So this time and then another time. You get some funny responses. Or from Nico anyway. She gets increasingly annoyed.
Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me, and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
Why, abuse? Ah well, I have a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
Hello, Coulard.
Hi, Nico. I messed up.
You messed up. What are you going to do now?
Could you, talk to the painter again?
No, George.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of burnt my bridges there.
Please, you could try.
Okay, just don't go all puppy dog on me.
I already
Go
died
and
like a
get
dog
him.
once.
Okay, you gotta see where this is going.
Is Nico gonna shoot us?
No, but she gets annoyed with George.
I'm already annoyed with George, so.
You've been annoyed with George since
Hi,
the
it's
start.
me again.
And
This
so
is true.
different.
What now?
I mean, anyone who spends their free time narrating the lives of Teletubbies isn't to be trusted.
That woman's on the phone for you again.
But I don't want to talk to her. Sarcastic, stuck-up.
She sounded really sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Seriously sorry.
All right, I will talk to her.
Should be able to get this part done before we finish.
Yeah, definitely.
Take too long. Yeah, shouldn't take too long.
Yeah. Just wish George moved fucking more quickly.
Yeah, if we move fast, it'd be helpful.
That did not go very well.
No?
No, she told me what I could do with my brush. My eyes water to think of it.
The thing is, this is a very long game.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much of that is just George's slow movement speed, like if it's padding it out or something.
Oh, I don't know, but I mean, I do my videos in a much smaller
Hello.
parts.
Hi.
George, what happened? You messed up again. Oh, why is this so difficult? I guess so. Just go and get him.
I think it might be this is the last time I'm
Good. This is getting annoying.
Yeah, let's make this the last time. George is a bit of a. It is amusing, like the way she reacts.
So I can do it properly now?
Hi, it's me
Yeah,
again.
do it properly. Yeah.
Alright.
What now?
You've got another call.
Oh, great.
No, honestly, she sounds really sorry.
If I wanted abuse, I could stay at her. But I am a slave to my libido. Wish me luck.
Yeah. Now go do the paint.
We're saving this man's life. We are interrupting his smoking and making him walk up and down stairs a lot.
Yeah. Exercise and saving your lungs.
George, you should have paint up to your elbow after doing that.
The plaster key had soaked up the paint nicely, and now looked pretty convincing. Still felt like plaster, though.
So we can do the swap?
Yep. But when you do the swap, if you notice that the guards is he's got his normal
Ah,
hands.
this
So if
bell.
you try and
She has such a sexy voice. But the things she says with it.
but because he's wearing no gloves, he'll be able to feel that it's not real. So you want to try and make it so he can have his gloves on. Remember I told you about the little thermostat on the wall?
Yes. I'm just gonna thank Nico for her help.
I figured I'd best not bother Nico again until I'd got a good reason.
He may not let you do it at the minute.
A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial.
Right, talk to him first.
Hi again.
What is it?
You have to try the key first, or what?
You have to talk to him about the thermostat first.
Okay.
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
Right, now see if you can... Don't show him the key.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Now use the thermostat, see if that works now.
I turned the heating off.
Okay, now get the keys from him.
How do I do that?
Just talk to him again and get the toilet key first.
Hi again.
What is it?
I need to use the,
Again?
I have this
So you can't obviously swap it with him in the same room with you. So go in the bathroom and do it in there, and then come out. And
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I was thinking instead of fiddling with the thermostat, we just, like, damage the boiler in some way.
I think that would have been maybe not a bad thing to do, like do something to get him to move, but it's still, I don't know. I mean, I think so just swap them over.
Quickly and without fuss, I swapped the fake key for the real thing.
Let's add another crime that you've just committed, George.
Theft.
Forgery, theft and forgery, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Now go back, now try ringing Nico again.
Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, George.
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
This looked like a good place to watch things develop.
Hey, you! It's the phone.
Yeah? Who is it?
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary?
It's not a chick, is it?
Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it?
Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate?
Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on.
I'm not talking to her.
I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me.
No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her.
You refuse. You refuse. I'm wasting valuable time.
Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day.
I have a highly responsible job. Pah! Don't pah me, you elephantine oaf. My job is important.
Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case.
Ooh.
Meaning what?
Instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you. All epaulettes and no brains.
Why, you...
This looked set to carry on for some time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
Alright, let's get into the temple.
Yep.
Then call it an episode.
Yep. We've got time to do this bit where we solve the chalice puzzle.
No, that'll be next time.
Oh, that'll be next time? Okay.
Well, we're past over an hour now.
Okay, that's fine. Fair enough.
So, we'll look into all this stuff next time. Till then, I've been Merrick D'Amato.
And I've been Classic Gamer.
And that is the skull and hand of a fecking giant, apparently. Ciao.
Ciao.
We found Grendel. Heroic Grendel, not Nurse Grendel. Hi. Thanks for watching. This has been played, edited, and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato.
And he's been helped by me, Classic Gamer.
You can find a link to Classic's YouTube channel, Classics Gamer, and his Twitch in the description below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.